I'd rather mop a dirty floor with a toothbrush than ask a man why her and not me.
If we waited for the world and waited for other people to show us that love that we deserve with the love that we already put out in the world, maybe we'd be sitting there waiting forever.
Forever, ever.
For when I have children, teaching my children from jump. You see that? That's the baddest. Yeah. Tell yourself every day.
Every day.
Remind yourself every day.
Every day.
And it's hard sometimes, even in them days that you don't feel that way.
You should see it anyway, because we have to be ourselves.
You
can never be me. I can never be you. So I might as well wake up feeling like the shit every day.
If I'm in the streets and I see a dude that I'm like, oh, he's cute, and he's talking to you, I'm not mad. I'm just like, all right, that's just his type.
There was a meme the other day that said, I'd rather mop a dirty floor with a toothbrush than ask a man why her and not me. Like, that you sound stupid.
Absolutely
that
not.
Sounds crazy. Clearly, he wanted her and not me. Or maybe he wanted both of us. Or maybe, what does they say, comparison's the thief of joy?
Yes.
Because it really is.
It really
For you
is.
to want to know why a man wants another woman.
Why anybody wants anybody.
Why anybody wants anybody, you are going to put yourself in a very miserable place. Hello, beautiful people. This is Coco Rochelle on the Just Say It podcast. Today, we will be talking about boundaries, self-care in relationships, friendships, and everything. Just self-care in general. My first guest is Shiobhan. She's here with me. She loves to talk about self-care, health, and she has a lot of tips and a lot of things to say. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's good. It's been a good day. But I set some boundaries today with some people, and that's why it was even better. So,
So we on topic.
All the way on topic. Yes.
Well, okay. Well, I want to know what the boundaries were and what you want to tell. But to you, what is self-care and boundaries, and how do you kind of put them together and make them work?
Yeah. I think I'll start with what self-care is, right? Like, first of all, I think self-care is a very subjective kind of thing, right? Like, people are like, for me, nails, hair, all that stuff isn't self-care. For me, that's maintenance, right? Like, that is my typical how I need to show up, how I like to show up. When I think self-care, I think I schedule my work, like I schedule my vacation days out in advance. I know I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing. I might stay at the house, right?
Wait, what?
But I know, I'm be honest with you, but because like I know what's going to be a hard work schedule. I know, holidays or things that hit me or things like that. I think I know around this time, I'm going to need some time. I'm going to take it. I think self-care for me and just how it's defined altogether, it should be what restores you. Right? Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people think, I saw this thing on Instagram the other day, and the guy said that his therapist read him from filth because his favorite Bible verse is, I think it was like Psalm 23:5, something like that. I don't know. I ain't read that in a minute. And he's like, my cup is empty. And she said, but God said, your cup runneth over. You only need to be giving your overflow. Right? Mm. And what I told myself was, that is where I'm going to be from now on. And I think it's the constantly filling myself up so that as I'm giving, I'm not waiting until I'm completely depleted.
So you're always practicing.
I am always practicing. So prime example, today, a colleague of mine, they're in town. I'm so excited to see them. I had to do this thing in San Francisco. They're like, I know you're going to go home. You're going to come back. I knew I had to be here with you. Come back and we have this night thing. It's till 11 o'clock. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm trying to find all the ways to get around it. And I said no. And because no is a complete sentence, right? And I saw that they were a little devastated by it. But I had to say the no because I already was feeling the stress of getting there and doing this and doing this.
Being rushed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And tonight is my face mask night. Period. Mm-hmm. Right? Like you don't get to 40 looking like this. Right?
Don't crack, but it does need some help.
Right, but it does need some help. And I was so proud of myself. Like I remember when I got in the Uber, I said, and I love this girl. And I said, I'm so proud of you for choosing you. And that's what I think self-care truly is. I choose myself on a regular basis, on a daily basis. I choose that I'm going to fill myself so that on times where I know that I'm never running on empty.
See, I'm working on that.
That's okay.
I'm definitely working on it. Because I will get depleted and then be like, you know what? I need some self-care.
It took a long time for me to get there, right? I told you, right? Like I had 3 emergency surgeries in 1 year and let my family deplete me. And when I got to the point earlier this year where I was sitting in front of a doctor and he was like, I need to correct all this stuff. Like you are like, I was like, I'm never going back there again. Yeah. So now that I'm in a place of feeling me and being healthy, I mean, between therapy and all type of stuff, I'll be looking at people like, I ain't finna do that.
Oh, teach me your ways.
That is literally what I'm working on now. I am more than okay to tell other Black women and other women of color, other folks of color specifically, right?
Yeah.
The world already tries to take from us.
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself.
But I'm the person who, because I've had a lot of loss, I've had a lot of depletion, I've had that. I never want anybody to feel the way that I felt. So I'm constantly giving and constantly going above and beyond for other people so they don't feel that way. Because I always tell people, I'm always okay. Like, even when people ask me that, and it's like, a lot of people don't call and say, like, how are you? How you doing? Just to check up on you, right? Yeah. But it's always a question or like, can you do this for me? Do you want to go here or whatever? And I'm the type of person where it's like, I don't really care to call and be checked up on because I always say when I am checked up on, like, I'm always okay. I'm going to be okay. Because for me, self-care, I don't do, like, I like hair and nails, but for me, again, it's maintenance, like you said. Right. I actually hate getting my nails done. I do it because I like the aftermath.
Don't worry, I do it enough for both of us.
I mean, they're not done right now, but I do it because I have to and it looks cute and I have little small fat fingers, but we're not going to talk about that. Anyway, but self-care to me is I will go out of my way for everybody. And at the end of the day, for me, self-care, I love to do this. And no, I don't eat in the bed all the time, so shut up. To all you people who probably like
that's your business.
Because a lot of people judge people like that. But I'm gonna say this: my self-care, if I am totally depleted, if I give people my all day, I love to go get me a big fat ass bowl of Chipotle and get in my bed.
I'm gonna do that for dinner
and eat it.
And that's okay.
In my bed, just the Chipotle. I cracked the foil, tossed it over there. I got my forks. I got my Tabasco. Don't play with me. And then like a beer or some wine and a movie. And for me,
the time to yourself.
Yeah. And I'll go all day giving to other people and give you my whole spirit, my whole personality, everything. But when I get in bed with that Chipotle, it's the best feeling in the world.
It's so interesting that you say that because I was actually having that conversation with my sister the other day. The reason that I even have gotten into the helping professionals and the work that I do is because I never want to see anyone. Like, how some people go through stuff and they'll be like, well, I went through it. They'll go through it, whatever. That's not who I am. No. But I also realized that as I was deep in, because I'm a strong, strong empath. Yeah. I was forgetting to feel me, which is the most important part of the equation. Yeah. And when I am not feeling because I feel hard. And recognizing and giving myself what I need, then I can't provide for other people. Yeah. So I am so adamant. My friends make fun of me, like, you at the Korean spa again, and is, right? Because it's this like, and I'll tell them like, don't come looking for me on a Monday afternoon. I'm gonna be at hot yoga. That's my job knows that. Like, I give so much without even thinking about it because I never want anyone to be hurt, to feel not loved and all of that stuff. But then I'm sitting there, but I can expect someone to give it to me. So why am I not giving that to myself? Yeah. And that's a really big thing for me. Like, even as I'm thinking about, future relationships or whatever, it's like, I'm not going to wait for somebody else to love up on me. Right. Like, I'm going to love up on myself.
And I also think that if you don't love yourself, how can somebody else?
Baby.
So there's that.
Because I need to teach you what I need.
Yeah. And if you don't know, and if you're guessing, I know exactly. Buy me Chipotle.
Wild. Buy me. I need Chipotle. I need my 2 birria tacos with my strawberry horchata every Saturday. Like that is what I need. And and that's one of the reasons that I'm so adamant about it, because it took a long time to like me and even longer to love me. And now that I'm in that space, I be looking at people like, what you finna tell me?
What's crazy is I've always liked me. I think,
loving you is hard, baby.
Yeah, I've always liked me. Like, toot. I'll beep that on horn. Like, I know my personality is fire. I know I'm a good person. At the core of anything that I go through, anything that I've done, I know I'm a good person. So I'm very happy with myself and liking myself. But I realize, even in what you're saying, loving myself has been a process that I haven't yet all the way completed, because if I truly loved myself, the things that I've allowed in my life, I would have never allowed and never gone through. So that's the part that I'm reflecting on now. And the last few weeks, I've really just been about me. Like, no, I don't want to go out. I don't want to turn up. I don't want to do for other people. Like, I'm at home and I really focused on me. I'm back in the gym. And for me, I like to eat healthy, but I also like
a Chipotle bowl.
A Chipotle bowl.
Period.
Okay. And I like the fried chickens. I like biscuits. I like to drink my drink. But the gym is something for me that really keeps me centered. Yeah. I love going to the gym. I love to sweat. A lot of girls are like, when I be in there, I look like a...
I'm not trying to be cute.
It's not cute.
It's not cute.
It's so not. I'm not one of them gym girls that you walk up to and hit on in the gym. You probably look at me like, what is going on over there?
Don't talk to me at the gym.
Don't talk to me.
Please don't talk
You wouldn't even want to talk to me. I go bald-headed.
But you get that sweat out. That helps with your hair.
Let me tell you something. I go with a beanie on, with a sweater over my head, over the beanie. I am not there for anything cute.
Because you're thinking about the result. You're thinking about how you feel after. For you, it's not like when you go, it's like, right, when I think about, all right, I'm going to go and take this long walk up to the stadium. It has nothing to do with, oh, what am I going to wear? It's like, I need to release this energy.
Yeah.
I need to feel good after. I need my body to function the way it does. I'm thinking about my blood sugar. I'm like, all the things that you think about once you hit 40. Your skin, everything.
Everything. The gym does it all.
Right. And that's what I said. And for some people, like, it might be, like, I have a homegirl that loves boxing. Like, I love my hot yoga. I have another homegirl that she loves her Peloton, right? Whatever that is that it looks for you, because in your head it's like, I just really want to feel good.
Yeah, but I do like to know that I could always beat a bitch up. I go there and I lift heavy. I got to make sure that I can get that weight, because if I need to.
Crash out in recovery. I get it.
I need to know that I don't want to do it.
I do.
But I need to know that I can.
But just in case, I need to know that I have that, right?
Yeah.
But no, I do not disagree. Like, I think it's just this, even as you're talking to me, you're like, I'm working on loving me and, the things I allowed. And it's like, but thinking about the patterns that we've seen, right? Like, as we go back to boundaries, I think about, like, I've had to have the conversation with my matriarchs of, like, the patterns that I saw you being single, married mothers, all of that stuff. I'm not going to do that, right? Which is why my boundaries are heavy, right? Like, I was telling you this the other day, like, if you don't treat me like my male friends treat me, because they treat me like a queen, you can't date me, because the way my brothers, my male friends, my all that, right? Like, because they sometimes have to put me in check to remind me, listen, baddie, sit your ass down.
Male friends are the realest. If you don't have no male friends, y'all got to get you some male friends, like, because they keep it so
realist,
real.
Right? And, like, when I see that and bullshit comes my way, I'll be like, I ain't finna do this with you.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of it's fun. I'm working on like I said, I'm working on the toxic parts, okay?
But is it toxic? Or is it just okay?
I like a little fun. I like a little fun. It has to be toxic, because
I don't see it as toxic. I see it as like, just, you here, I'm here. Like,
it's toxic. Okay, it's toxic. Now there's boundaries to toxic. There's fun toxic, where, like, we having fun. Oh, I like this. Okay, little cat and mouse. And then there's toxic.
Is that not courting though?
I don't know what courting is. First of all, it is 2024. I don't even know if people still court.
They better.
Do they still court?
Yes, they do.
What is the definition of court?
And when I think courting, right? Like, you are making a concerted effort to show me that, like, you interested, right? Not just
what you doing?
First of all, sir, I was WYDing the same damn thing 5 minutes ago, okay? Like, I'm not saying you got to take me to dinner or whatever, but, like, babe, we didn't see each other all week. You trying to get ice cream? You trying it, right? Like,
okay, but what stage does that happen? Okay, you meet a man, he gets your number. When you going out for ice cream?
Sir, show your effort.
When do you expect it? Okay, so here's the toxic part, right? When is too soon?
I don't,
because there's a boundary on that, I think. And I think there's too soon for me because I'm toxic, right? If you get my number and then you're hit me up in the same night or the next day, I'm gonna be like, ugh, relax. Ugh. Give me a minute to want you. Jesus, Lord.
I'm not like that.
Okay.
If you hit me up, right? But I'm also one of those people that like at this stage of my life, I am not going to hit you up first. I am not going to chase you, right? Mm-mm. So for example, I met a dude out. He's actually in the I have this phone graveyard. I can talk about that later. Yeah. And the first thing, he's telling me, whatever. And I was like, listen, I'll be honest with you. It sounds like you're just getting over something new. When you're ready, you can talk to me. But I'm telling you that I'm not going to be, right? Mm-hmm. So before the end of the night, he was just like, I need to get to know you, whatever. I was like, okay, sure. He doesn't hit me up. All right, hello, right? He's going through whatever. He hits me up like maybe a week after. I was like, hello, how are you? Good to talk to you. Hello. Right, hello. Good to talk to you, right? Then he said, I'm going to make a concerted effort to call you at least 3 or 4 times a week.
That's what he said?
That's what he said.
Why is he telling you that, though? Why did you just do it?
And I asked him that. He said, because I'm saying it out loud. I was like, it sounds like you may have a pattern that you don't know how to follow through on anything.
And it sounds like I'm not going to answer.
And it sounds like I'm not going to answer.
Because why did you say that?
So I was like, I'll give you the chance, right? I know that you just went through a breakup about maybe 7 or 8 months ago, like all type of stuff, but you approached me, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you got to call me every day, right? Because I also know, like, I just met you. I could be in a rotation. That's cool, right?
Yeah. But
to have a conversation with me, to get to know me, to spend time with me is what I'm asking. If you're not doing that from the beginning, I have a concern. But I will also say my boundary on that is when I see you trying to consume my time fully from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Because it's not going to happen.
Because I have a life. Mm-hmm. And I have a life and before friends. You. Mm-hmm. And I have a life after you, right? Mm-hmm. And if you start to be like, oh, you be out all the time. You go to brunch. Baby, you met someone who be outside.
Yeah.
Like.
The streets.
In other countries as well. Just say you can't do it. But also, my life isn't going to revolve around you.
Big facts. Yeah.
And also, if you are trying to consume my time, I'm concerned about if you're controlling as well. Mm-hmm. Let's gradually do this and figure out how you like to be loved, how I like to be loved, what that middle ground is, because I don't even know if I want to keep you.
Yeah.
But if you don't show me any attention, baby, I ain't going to sit there and wait for you because I got a whole line of them waiting.
But I feel like, so that's self-care. There's boundaries in that too, because I feel like what happens is a man comes in, get your number, love bombs you. Now you're all in love, can't breathe without this man, done cut all everybody else off that you was talking to. Again. But for me, it's like, I'm not one of those. There's a lot of women who are like, oh, you haven't called me in a week, we're done.
Oh, no.
See, I'm not one of those people because while you haven't called me in a week, somebody else has. And let me tell you something. You can hit me up in 2 weeks. That's fine. Hey, how you doing, baby? You good? I've been talking to somebody else though. I'm not gonna tell you that though, but I'm also not gonna be mad. You can run the block and double back and do everything that you want with me, and I will give you the conversation. But it's self-care to me to also continue to speak to other people.
Yes.
And if you decide to come back in 2 weeks, in a month, and 3 months after you done ran through all the other
I will decide if I want to respond or not.
Yeah, because I might like somebody more than you now. You lost out,
and that's you lost
but
out.
I'm not mad.
And I'm actually going to have the conversation with you.
I'm not going to have a conversation.
Okay, that's you. I personally feel like I'm going to be like, because in my head, just like you said, you don't like the ghost. Hey, good to hear from you. Just let you know, I have somebody else entertaining me.
Oh, no, I'm just going to get entertained. You lost out. You had your chance.
I kind of like that, though.
Peekaboo.
I'm dead. No, I actually do like that approach, because in my head, it's like, we can sit here, have conversations. You may think that it's back to normal. But what I'm hearing from you is you're like, I'm not giving
And if I'm not doing anything else, maybe it is back to normal.
But I'm not giving you that emotional energy. And that's what's so dope about that.
Yeah.
Like that has me rethinking the way that I'm entertaining these lady sons.
Well, because women, I see it all the time on social media, we get so caught up. Oh, he didn't call me. He must have met somebody else. I told my girlfriends about him, and then he disappeared.
No, baby, that's
2 days later. But we're so broken about it, and it's like you guys got to figure that when this man, if let's say you go out to a club or somewhere, this man got your number. He probably got 3 other numbers
people
too.
number, girl.
And the first thing, if I know anything about it,
right, you're not just focusing on that outside, right?
Yeah.
You have now experienced me, and I know you experience this too. I know I'm always you're so dope, like I rock with you, whatever. Mm-hmm. But my boundary that I've done to keep me healthy is like, okay, that was nice. You can't just put that on a pedestal. Like, I don't know.
I already put myself on the pedestal.
Exactly.
So I know I'm dope.
Exactly.
So thank you for saying it.
So I wasn't doing that for right. I just need you to remember that.
Right.
And just know that if this does not continue, I'm okay.
And you shouldn't hold it. I think that a lot of women hold it against them. And it's like, yeah, he thought that other female was better than you. It didn't work out and now he's back. But also, so what? Because you can meet another man that you think is better than him and then you go give that man more attention and then you find out it's not. So I feel like we put too much on other people instead of just being like, so what? They thought that other girl was better. They thought that other man was better.
Because it's actually not a competition. And I let people know. You they either want a you or they want a me.
Right.
And that's what I have to remember. Like, I have a PhD in being me. Like, I tell people, you the baddest bitch on your block.
Right.
On my block.
And that self-care you really got to know that about yourself because you will really beat yourself up and not be in the right headspace to meet. There's so many women who date and they don't do the self-care of loving themselves when they date, and they're so heartbroken every time a man ghosts them or doesn't want them. And that ghost is not about you.
It's not about you. A lot of times, and I see this in all genders, right? It's about, one of my really good friends, Chad, he lives in Tulum, and you know, I always put when I'm going to do something with a man past him, and he'd be like, well, babe, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think it's about you.
It's usually
and that made me think twice. He was like, and my therapist says this all the time, I don't really care about what is it about you? And I think that's part of it. It's like, we are constantly thinking, and I'm coming out of that pattern, right? It's take some time where it's like, well, he might be, stop worrying about his play. Where are you in the situation?
Right.
How does it make you feel? What is the impact on you? Mm-hmm. Because if you're going to continue to let that pattern continue, no matter who it is, it's not going to matter whose face is at the end. Right. And part of that is learning that, like, okay, I know what I bring to the table. I know what I don't bring to the table. I know who I am, what I am, love who I am.
Yep. Your friends love who you are.
Listen, I got a homegirl. Every time she'd be like, you hungry? You run that plate, right? Like, I tell people, if you can't treat me like Lenora treat me, I don't want you. If you can't treat me how, baby, I have a friend that when I be faded in the streets, he'd be like, your shoe needs to be tied. And he ties my shoe. Yeah. And I tell people, like, I have so much love around me, I don't crave it. But
and that's the important part. Yeah.
In a partner would be dope.
So dope.
But if you are not that person.
But being desperate for it is a non-negotiable for me. I'm not desperate. Like, people ask me that all the time because I am one of the streets. I love to be outside. I love to be with the people. And people ask me all the time, why are you not in a relationship and do you want to date? I absolutely do, but I want to date my best friend. And until then, I actually am dating my best friends because I have a lot of male friends, a lot of female friends. I go out to dinner. I go get drinks. I go turn up. I have a lot of love for my friends. So for me, that's my dating. I text them every day, all day. I have male friends. I blow their phones up. I don't need to have the desperation of having a man want me so bad and I got to be in that where I'm just willing to take anything or do anything. Like, I date my friends. I'm totally okay with that.
Especially as a Black woman. I think this is my opinion, right? And everything said by Shiobhan Chantel Scarrett is not a reflection of anything going on in the world, right? We have so many things against us that if we waited for the world and waited for other people to show us that love that we deserve with the love that we already put out in the world, baby, we'd be sitting there waiting forever.
Forever, ever.
Like, and this is my plan for when I have children and all that stuff, teaching my children from jump. You see that? That's the baddest.
Yeah.
Tell yourself every day.
Every day.
Remind yourself every day.
Every day.
And it's hard sometimes, even in them days that you don't feel that way. But I'm literally in a world that like.
You should see it anyway, because we have to be ourselves.
We have
You
to
can
be.
never be me. I can never be you. So I might as well wake up feeling like the shit every day.
If I'm in the streets and I see a dude that I'm like, oh, he's cute, and he's talking to you, I'm not mad. I'm just like, all right, that's just his type.
There was a meme the other day that said, I'd rather mop a dirty floor with the toothbrush than ask a man why her and not me. Like that, you sound stupid.
Absolutely
that
not.
sounds crazy.
It's absolutely
because clearly he wanted her and not me, and I'm not doing that compare. Or maybe he wanted both of us, or maybe whatever it is. Like what does they say? Comparison's the thief of joy.
Yes,
because it really is. For you to want to know why a man wants another woman, or why a man, vice versa. I forgot what I just said, but
why anybody wants anybody.
Why anybody wants anybody. It's just like you are going to put yourself in a very miserable place.
And also, you sitting there watching that thing. I've learned you sitting there watching that thinking like, oh my God, why not me? That might have been that most miserable experience you could have ever had. Oh, and part of choosing me, I just went through this. I told you the story, but I'm going to just high level, right? Was dealing with, I woke up when the man finally put his hands on me. And what I realized was, you know, my homegirl was like, oh, he talked to you and not me, whatever, and was feeling away. And in my head, I was like, yo, like I'm literally in an abusive relationship with someone that I'm not even like in a relationship with, right?
Yeah.
And like, I told myself, like, my mama always say, you never envy what you see other people have, because you never know what happened in the house. And I said, you're right. Yep. Like, and I look back, like that was probably my big wake up call of like, I see someone, I'm happy for you. I hope it work out. But I'm not sitting there sweating that, because I don't know what you actually got.
And that's why I was telling you that the other day, that I'm not going to say friends. I am very cordial and very cool with a lot of people from my past, because most of them I want to say, because I don't carry that type of jealousy. Like, we didn't work out. You were not for me. I was not for you.
Period.
I wish you well. I actually hooked my ex-fiance back up with one of his ex-girlfriends when we broke up.
That's cute.
Because it's like, y'all might have had something, and maybe you should kind of like look back into that. I think y'all, and I'm the type of person who listens. So I listened to him talk about her, and I already knew a little bit of her part. Not like when we were friends in the friend zone, not when we was in a relationship.
Because I was like, that's a problem.
No, but it's like, for me, I'll hook you up with somebody else. Like, we can be friends. Yeah. I don't have a problem with that, because by the time we're not talking anymore, that really means that you were not meant for me. Yeah, and I was not meant for you, and we were holding each other up. Like,
that was our season.
Yeah. And you learn, I've learned so much from every man that I've had any type of anything from. And the bad, the good, I've learned so much, and I'm thankful for. I don't take none of it back. I don't regret none of it, because it's put me in the place where I know who I am, what I want, and it's lining me up for whoever my future boyfriend, whatever he gonna be. I don't know that I'm getting married. Whatever he gonna be, my future partner. I'm gonna put it at that. But it's lined me up for that.
Right.
I love the bad. I love every negative thing that's ever happened. I love every tear I've ever cried over a man.
Because look what look at the lessons you learn from it. The wisdom that you gain from seeing. I had a little stink with a little boy at work, right?
I've had a couple of those.
Listen, when I tell you some of the best I ever had, right? And it was a love bomb situation. Did me dirty. To the point, like, I have not talked to him since then. And it's really like, I couldn't, right? Because looking back, I'm like, bro, like, you really played me for stupid. Anyway, so somebody was saying at work, they had heard he's having, I guess, I heard he had a baby. And in my heart, it kind of sunk. I was like, damn, like, somebody like, okay. Then I was like, all right, you got it together for her, whatever. And then someone in passing was just like, yeah, I was talking to so-and-so, and he got this baby mama drama, I guess, because he didn't wife her and he did her dirty, blah, blah, blah. Like, now she got him for child support or whatever. And it automatically turned to oh, God, thank you, Jesus, it wasn't me.
Amen.
And rather than and this is how I knew I grew, because rather than being like, well, that's good for you, I said, oh, but God, that's not nice. Like, I pray that like they can get it together. He comes from a good family. I would want his parents to like be able to be like the grandparent to this child. I know that like no matter what it is, he would be a good father. And I caught myself praying to like, God, I really hope that you touch that situation. Because in my head, I was like, that baby don't deserve it. And I know this man would be a good daddy. Mm-hmm. That is, because like through everything I could say, like he was there when I froze my eggs, right? Like he was really, when he was in it, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want that. And I said to myself, I kind of stopped and I teared up a little bit. And I said, I'm a Cancer, I cry all the time. I said, ooh, that's growth. Because in my head, I don't want to wish you bad.
Yeah.
I want to see good for you. It just so happened that I saw this on Instagram again. I was a gallon, you were a pint. You couldn't fill my gallon, and I was overflowing your pint. We just were not matched.
Wasn't a match. And you shouldn't be mad.
And I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to forgive myself about being mad about it, right? And that's why, as you and I have been talking,
it's a human emotion.
But I feel, I see the relationships of it different, and I'm just like, okay, like.
You know, it's crazy. I've always had a boundary and rules to getting over people. So if I go through a heartbreak, I allow myself 3 days to feel something about it. And that's whether if I want to stay in bed, cry, eat, whatever it is, I got 3 days to do it, and then it's over with. Because dragging it on, like when you're in bed for weeks and sitting up, it's just crazy to me. And the one thing that I tell myself is, how many people have you liked? You got over every single last. I mean, from the time you're in, when you start liking boys, I think I was boy crazy. So I started liking boys in like kindergarten.
I was about to say, I was kissing boys behind. I was fresh.
And you get over all of them. And yes, you get older and maybe they get more serious, a little bit more intimate. Maybe the sex gets better.
Whatever. Sometimes it don't.
Whatever it is, you still have always gotten over everybody that you thought you would never live without, right? I was talking on Instagram the other day about my first crush that I really, really liked. And then all my friends came and told me that he kissed another girl behind the tree. And I went home and listened to Have You Ever on repeat and cried my little eyes out. 7th grade. 7th grade. And I'm talking about slid down the wall, just was crying, going through all the notes we wrote each other. And it's just like, I think about that now, like, okay. But me and my best friend, we went and looked people up on social media, like old crushes that we used to have. And I look at their lives now and I'm like, some of them are married, some of them are not. Some of them have great lives, some of them don't. But their lives do not align with mine.
Mine, not at all.
And they were not supposed to be for me. They were supposed to be something that I had fun with, showed me something, I grew from, whatever, and you let it go. So that's my boundary. Whenever I'm going through you, I got 3 days. And then I'm getting up, I'm going to the gym, we're getting back to it. Because why?
I'm going to Sephora. I'm going to get a hydrofacial. I'm going to buy some new lipstick. And I'm going to go shake my ass at sushi.
There you go.
I am.
That's what shaking my ass and drinking is a big part of that, okay?
Big
well, my knees don't work anymore, but shaking this two-step.
Not.
Well, I take a little shot.
You know, we're just working on it. No, I do. I know. I love that because it's right in anything, right? Like I tell people, like life is transactions. So in my head, I literally always think of it like this is what I got out the transaction. I give you 3 business days. Like now I'm back at it. I do.
And that's not even just for relationships. I've had friendships that even a job. If you quit or get fired from a job, you get 3 days. Like I had everybody knows it now. I got fired from one of the places I was at for like 4 years.
I did not know.
And it hurt because that was my family. That's where I was used to. That's what I went. That's where I looked for, like my family, my friends, my everything. And when it happened, it was like, damn, it's over. I took my 3 days. And then it's like, okay.
You was on your grind, ready to go. I got to find my next chapter. But I also
I love this about myself, toot, is I also look at, okay, you needed to get out of that life. You needed to be doing something different with yourself. So I look at those things too, you know?
Sometimes I grew up very, very churchy. My parents laugh all the time. They're like, what did my aunt call me? I'm her wayward child who moved to California. And, she would always say, the Bible say everything for its reason and its season.
Turns out it's true.
And sometimes that season is long, sometimes that season is short, and that season might be a lifetime. But sometimes we be in that season and so comfortable.
Yeah.
And God be like, you don't want to live, you don't move. Go
Somewhere.
somewhere.
That one transaction, getting fired from that job led me to move to another job, to move to the job that I'm at currently, where I could just have one job. And that was a major goal for myself, to have the one job so that I was not depleting myself constantly.
I love that.
And so it opened up a whole new world to where I could do this, where I could do the other things that I wanted to do in my life that I was holding myself back from because I was stuck in this one place where I thought I was going to just be a lifer. And it's like, could I imagine myself? I'm almost 40 years old. Am I going to be doing the same thing at 50 with 2 jobs and all that? And maybe I might be in the club at 60.
I'm gonna be at least once a month. I'm gonna be there. I ain't gonna lie. I am
at 60.
But also, you also know that like you're there because you choose to be.
Yeah.
Not because you have to be.
Yeah. And there was a place where I was very stuck for a long time in a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I've never felt more free than I feel right now. And I do have the boundaries. And that's in my friendships. That's with men. That's everything for me right now is about me first.
Yes. But because that's the main character.
But for so long, I like when somebody would text me. If you ever text me, you'll notice I will probably respond in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's me.
I always have my phone in case somebody needs me. But it's like, they'll be fine, Courtney. Like, if you don't text them back after they ask you how your day was, like, they'll be fine without knowing how your day was. And I'm just so on it. And I'm constantly like, oh, I don't want them to feel ignored. I don't and my whole life is just always like that.
Sometimes you need to, and I actually was on stage today and I had to tell this to like a big celebrity, which I was like, Shiobhan, you really is out of pocket today. But I had to. I was like, sometimes you have to remember that like you are the priority. Like, what if you don't text back? Like, yes, my phone is always in my hand. But when it's not, there are some times that I also have my watch, right? Mm-hmm. I will go a whole day without my phone.
Ooh, that would kill me.
But I do it because it's like
a whole day?
Like, yeah. I have left my phone in my car and been in the house and go a whole day. I choose to do it. In the beginning it was hard. Yeah. But I do it because it's like
I can't even imagine.
If y'all really wanted me, you would know how to find me. Right? I'm on my iPad, maybe. Maybe I'm just watching Bob's Burgers on YouTube, right? But I'm a disconnect because I need to reconnect with me.
I never do. I'm definitely that friend you can call at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and I will answer.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. But if I don't, here are some resources.
911.
Right. Because it's like there are some days that I really just look at my phone. Please. When my work phone dies on like a Thursday night, Friday morning, that bad boy ain't be in charge till Sunday until I see what I need to happen.
Yeah.
There are sometimes I let my phone completely die because I'll be like, they'll be fine because they know I'm one of the first people that they can contact. But there are other people. My family lives on the other side of the country. Yeah. What you calling me for?
Yeah.
All of y'all live right there.
Well, don't get me wrong. It's only certain people that can call my phone at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
But
don't call my phone.
But those are also the people that know that they can show up to my house too.
Nobody can show up to my house. Okay. Let me make that clear. Why we don't come over here without calling me first. Yeah, I have a strict rule about don't knock on my door.
A very short list of people.
I don't have a one. Nobody.
That if they, why are you like this? That they can show up, and I know that if it gets to that point, we're in a situation.
I love that because don't come to my house unless you call first. Just don't do it.
See, don't do it. I don't let a lot of people, like when I tell you like very few, there are very few people that even know where I live.
My cousin lives in this complex and she will call me before coming out of her apartment to my apartment. Everybody knows the rules.
But
don't come to my house.
Yeah,
that is my one rule because I'll pick up my phone. I don't like to pick up my phone. I'd rather you text me.
Yes, because I don't.
But if you do call me, I will pick up the phone. I answer all my text messages. If you need me to be somewhere, if you need me to do something, I will do it. My one big boundary, do not come to my house unannounced. Don't not because and if you do, unfortunately, the door won't get answered anyway, so it'll be a waste of your time.
Fair.
I will watch you through the peephole. I will watch you through that peephole. Like
turn off all the lights.
I ain't even turn them off. The TV still be on. Dog barking. You probably hear me yell at her to stop barking so they can go away. I'm not answering my door. I
kind of like that.
Why are you here?
I kind of like that. I can count on my hand maybe 3 people that they can show up. But that's also because those are the folks that I know that like, if they show up, it's a problem. It's an problem.
When does it go? See, that's boundaries for me, and maybe you have a different one. Because when does it go? There's something seriously wrong, and you know something's up. To I was just in the neighborhood.
No, they would never do that to me. Well, first of all, my problem is people don't know where I am. Like like yesterday, they know I was home. Today, I'm here. Tomorrow, I got something going on. I'm in Dallas this weekend. I'm doing keto, right? Like, I'm everywhere. Like, my friends be like, man, you still in the jungles of Tulum? Like, what are we doing, right? So, like,
Wait, are you one of those people who share your location?
I need adult supervision at all times.
Oh, see, no, I don't share my location. You don't need to know where I am.
I share my location. So, this is the reason I share my location. Like, and I know people think people are going to, this is probably an unpopular opinion again. I am an adventurer. Mm-hmm. I will be with folks and be like I remember I was in New Orleans with my ex-boyfriend. This was years ago, and I walked away drunk. And I don't remember this, but there's video to prove it. Apparently, the cops found me and all that stuff. I was somewhere in somebody's board I wasn't supposed to be. And I said, I'm not going anywhere unless you let me go on the horse. So he had to put me on the horse. Like, when I tell you I'm an adventurer,
safe to say we don't need to be out alone together.
You will not be like, hey, I'm going somewhere. And they'd be like, my friends have been like, how are you in Santa Cruz, bro? Like I didn't know that was happening because I'm always down for whatever. I'm like, tacos, yes, let's go. But I think that's part of my, like, I can be trusting, like, my toxic trait is that I have more trust for a stranger than I do for people that I know. Because in my head, like, I got lost in like the rainforest of Costa Rica. Like, in my head, I was like, well, if I go with a story. But I think that also comes from I used to live in such a state of fear of things because of like trauma and passings or whatever that I'd be like.
And see, I have so much trauma and I have so much, so when I go out of town, it's hard for me to get drunk. Like here in San Jose, you will see me in these streets lit because I know where everything is. I know enough people. I know I'm going to be cool. And I trust myself here.
And I'm just cool.
And I trust the people around me. But if you go out of town with me, I'll drink. But the chances of seeing me just drunk and like you would see me out here is probably not going to happen because I'm going to know where I am. I'm going to know how to get back to my hotel. I'm going to know all these things. I am just that I don't trust. You can get If
my job knew the shenanigans that I pull when I be on vacation, they would be like, but I will tell you, but that's the people that my homegirls always like, be my sim, right? Like, that's why we have each other's locations. But those are the people that I trust that I know if anything can happen, they gonna show up. 100%. Like my homegirls' husbands have my location. 2 of them. And I asked them, I was like, is that okay? She was like, no, because if I can't find you, he can find you.
Yeah.
And I'm probably with you anyway, right? And for me, I love that. But when I know that sounds like, but that's a very small circle of people. Because even as I've gotten older, right? Like I used to love to be around everybody. And I'd be like, all of y'all don't deserve this energy. All of y'all just don't deserve to be around me. All of you don't deserve this awesomeness of what it is, right? So like I keep my circle small, but my circle is tight.
Yeah.
Right? But even amongst those people, like we talk about coming to the house, I have a couple like, I don't even know if they know where I live. That's a really good thing to say. Like I've maybe been to their house, we go out, we whatever, but like.
See, and I invite people over. I'll do that. I'm just as public as I am. Like you can ask me anything and I'll answer it. I am so public and I am so friendly and I'm so outgoing.
But you like your
time.
But
I am also on the flip side, extremely private. And maybe that's Gemini. I have one side that's extremely public. I'll do anything, but I have an extremely private side. And my home is my private place, precious. And it's just where I go and what I do is private to me until I want it to be seen.
Got it.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I'm also, if you follow me on IG, I post memes all day. Every once in a while I'll do a selfie or something like that, but I'm not constantly going to post where I'm at.
No.
And I'm not that, because I'm just not that type of person, you know? And that's my boundary for social media, right? Even when I do, a lot of people don't know this, even when I post somewhere, I typically don't post it until I'm gone.
Days.
Oh, no, like 15 minutes.
Oh, no. Like,
Like that.
like you will see a picture and be like, bitch, when did you go to Bermuda? And I'm like, that was from weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Because in my head, I'm also thinking about being present and enjoying my.
I'm like that now too.
Right? I don't pull my phone out at concerts or anything like that.
I'll pull it out real quick in the beginning, and then the rest of it's for me to enjoy.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
No, because in my head, first of all, I pay all this money for these floor seats.
Oh.
I'm gonna feel like I could touch Usher. Girl, that was one of the best shows I ever saw. I saw him.
I won't talk about it because I missed it. I won't talk about it.
He's in Atlanta.
Anyway.
If you want to roll,
don't get, because I'll quit my. No, I'm just playing.
No,
I'm not gonna do it. So on Just Say It, I'm ending each show with 2 questions.
Okay.
And one of them is motivational, and one of them is, it just is. And you just have to just say it.
Okay.
So the motivational one is, what boundary or act of self-care have you taken on in your life that you think would really inspire other people?
I would say it's been my dedication to hot yoga.
I wanted to try that. Yeah.
And this is why. When people think yoga, yes, it's a very calming whatever, but I'm constantly pushing myself to another limit. I'm in this hot ass room, 100 degrees or more, right?
And working out.
Yes, and working out. And when people hear that, they're like, oh my God, right? But I'm like, I look forward to it on a regular basis because I feel such a release. But I think it's not just the dedication that I'm making to showing up to the class because, I'm spending the money, whatever. It's the dedication that I'm making to my body and what it does for the release of my body, my spirit. Like, I can go out there and be ready. I remember one day I was mad at somebody. I was mad in one of my offices abroad. I think it was Singapore, because I was ready to go on a flight and fight this girl. And I didn't. And I said, it wasn't my regular night to go. I said, you know what? There's a class in an hour and a half. I'm going to walk the dog and go to the class. And for me, it wasn't about to say that I went to yoga. It was about the fact that, like, this is a part of my release. And I've done everything from worked my body and challenged my body and focused my energy somewhere else. And I think that my dedication to keeping myself healthy through everything that I've been through is probably one of the most, because in my head, it's like, I got to be healthy to be a menace because my ancestors couldn't do it.
Amen.
So now, baby, the way
running the streets,
running them,
the streets, running them and running them,
and making these people mad and being listen. When I tell you, I take a vitamin, I take a whatever, but I take care of myself because in my head, I'm like, honey, right now I am thriving out of spite to piss off everyone that said that I wasn't gonna make it, I wasn't gonna this, I wasn't gonna that. So it's like, no. So like, that is such a big part. My health journey has been such a big part of my life. So now it's I guess you would say the obsession of remaining healthy so that I can continue to piss people off and do the stuff that they said I couldn't do.
I feel you, because I'm the same way. I drink and I party, but I be taking my little oils and pills and all that stuff so I could do it. This body is healthy because I got to be running.
I got to be running. I can't be running the streets being raggedy.
Yeah,
absolutely
not sick.
No.
And I can't run the streets if I'm sick.
And I can't run the streets sick. I mean, I could, but that's not going to get me nowhere. Right. So yeah. And I tell people, like, whatever healthy looks for you, even if it's like you remember to take your vitamin every day, just start somewhere and take care of yourself, because there are just so many things against us that will fight the health of our body. Like, just do adding one thing every 3 months or something like that.
I love
just
that.
Keep the consistency.
Love it. Okay. Now, it could be motivation. Do you think that there should be boundaries in sex? And do you think that sex is a part of self-care?
Yes and yes. So for years, and I still do on the side, I've done work in gender equity and sexual misconduct and sexual sexual harassment, all that stuff, right? And I feel like the boundaries, like when people say boundaries, it's I think of like sometimes you just want someone to pull your hair and call you a whore, right? Cool. Mm-hmm. But if that is a part of your like, that is what I need to feel fulfilled in the bedroom, having sex with you, cool. But do I want that all the time? I don't know.
No.
Right? I mean, yes. yes. But I think that the boundaries should be that like, it's okay to have that conversation. I love when a man be like, so what do you like? What don't you like? Because I want you to know so you can do it or not do it.
Yeah.
Or maybe you tell me like, I do like doing this and I might be like, all right, let's try it a little bit. See if I like it, right? So I do think that is the boundaries. And I do think that sex is a form of self-care. And this is why I feel like, now I think there's a difference, in my opinion, between just hunching on everybody to hunch on everybody.
Yep.
Right.
I didn't say nasty.
To have, right? To have, well, if that's what you want to do you, baby, as long as it's consent, I don't care. Right. But part of that is like, when I find someone that I really enjoy the experience with,
that release.
And that
bond.
And bond makes a difference, right? And you could be my man. You could be my man for the night. You be my man for the month, right? Whatever it is, right? But if we have that adult agreement of what the boundary is going to be, hell yeah. I think it is the
Self-care.
healthiest thing to be a part of it, because I know when I'm with you, in the moment with you, not in the moment with you, when you're not here, whatever, however we decide to make this arrangement, because even in a relationship is arrangement.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I do think that it's healthy. And I think that it is a part of self-care, because when you are doing it in a way that you are getting what you like and you need, rather than just doing it because for a long time, I just did not care for sex. I felt like I'm very serious. I was just like, it was a chore. Like, I'm chilling.
You know,
with
you
him.
can have sex with yourself, right? That's a self.
And it took me a long time to come to that. And baby, and I felt like I had to understand. And once I started to really explore what I liked myself, then I was able to be like, come on, do this.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like you got to know how to please yourself before somebody else can please you.
That's something that women are so afraid of, because we have so much shame behind it, right? But think about it, right? Like, I grew up super Christian.
I did too, but I love having sex with myself. I do it daily, and I take, because you know what?
I just be forgetting. I just be busy.
I don't forget. Let me tell you, I ain't forgetting. That is another that is another act of self-care for me. I need that at the end of the night before I go to bed. I have to, because I'm not out here running the streets doing it with everybody. Yeah. So I got to do it to myself, because we got to keep that up. Right. Yeah.
But it's also like, I'm sitting here thinking about like,
everybody want to know why I got so much energy. I give it to myself. Give it to me, what you say.
But yes, it is. I think that it is a form of self-care. And I think that loving up on your body looks different for other people. Yeah. Right? And whether it's like, you know, you want to be tied up, you want to be whatever, or maybe you want something like slow and nice, which that's not necessarily what I need all the time. But yeah, that is a form.
I was like, you see my face? Like, slow and nice.
I know. I was like, some people like that.
Nice and slow was that when I was in 8th grade.
I personally, that's not been my thing, right? But I also think that it's me, and I let men know that from jump, right? And I used to be afraid to even say that, like, you know, I like it a little, like, because I'd be afraid what they gonna say. And in my head, I'm like, I like this, so you gonna do it or not?
Right.
Period. Right. And once I started to really get into it, I would be like,
there's a confidence about it. It's sexy. And men like that shit.
But not everyone can deliver.
You know what? That's a different conversation for a different day.
And I'm not just saying sexually, right?
We can do podcast 3 all in one right now.
I'm not even saying sexually. I'm saying I don't think not everyone can deliver the full spectrum of what I need.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
That situation. Because I'm very much so a sapio. So like you're not going to even get in here if I can't even have, like, we could be talking about the dunes in the Sahara Desert, right? And I'd be like,
Sex is better when you have a connection and you know each other and you're comfortable with each other. Right. I'll never believe that people out here having one night stands is having good sex.
There are people,
and maybe they are,
and that's good for them.
And I just don't know about it.
Not my ministry, but
I find that hard to believe. I believe there has to be a bond, some chemistry. You have to know I like to be touched here, and I like this. Right. I have to know you like this. Anyway,
I have to like the sound of your voice.
I have to love that.
That's a big
ain't nothing
thing
better than a man talk. You better talk to me.
But I'd like to like the sound of your voice because if your voice is given soft, that's not soft. Yeah. I have had situations that I'm like, it's not getting as controlling as I need it to be. But I digress. But yes, I do think that it is a form of self-care. And I think that there are boundaries. And I think that boundaries are important because you don't know what people's past experiences and trauma are.
Absolutely.
So being able to talk, like, I don't shy away from talking about sex. I do shy away from talking about sex with someone that I don't even know yet.
I mean, I'll talk to you about it. And what I like to do is I actually like to talk to men about it because I want to see where your mind goes and what you have to say about it. Because if you're too thirsty after I'll talk to you about it.
Fair.
It's a conversation.
Yeah. Fair.
That doesn't mean I'm about to give it to you. It doesn't mean we're about to do it. It doesn't mean, I just want to see if you're grown enough to be able to handle that conversation.
That's fair. And that don't mean that you're going to get it.
Absolutely not.
And it's because you got to
It's one of my favorite topics. So I talk to anybody about it. That don't mean it's a conversation.
We've had some talks about sex.
Yeah. I mean, it's a conversation. It doesn't mean anything. And if you're grown, you can have the conversation without thinking it means something.
Grown.
And I'm going to leave that at that. You got to come back because we're going to have to do a podcast.
I think I got some friends to bring with me too.
Okay.
I think that'd be...
I would love that.
I got some ladies that I think we could talk about.
Yeah.
One thing about me and my friends, we have no problem talking about.
Oh, well, come on. And I'll be drinking next time. We can have some wine and really talk.
It's going to take longer than an hour.
Okay. We'll do a special. Thank you so much for coming, Miss Shiobhan. I look forward to having you back.
Thanks.
This is Just Say It Podcast. Please stay tuned. Like, subscribe to Just Say It Podcast, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.